Hello, my name is Kristine Lu. I'm in ninth grade and I'm from Southern California. I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me, and I live with my parents, my brother, and my grandparents. Um, some things I like to do in my free time. Of course, I like to play piano. I also like to cook, go outside and take walks or bike, and watch movies. I go to University High School, and my favorite subject at school is probably math. But I also like science, and sometimes I enjoy history, and I do a lot of math outside of school, like competition math, and I enjoy problem solving and doing things related to math. I live kind of near a trail, so I enjoy hiking with my family, and there's like in the spring there's a lot of flowers and birds and animals. I've been playing piano for like about 10 years, since I was very young, like about 4 years old. And then I think when I first started playing the piano, I just went to this class where the teacher would play, and then me and a few other kids would like sing, and that was like my introduction to music. And then, ever since then, I've had piano lessons with a couple different teachers, but right now I'm with my current teacher, and I've been with her for like 7 years almost. My teacher will give me some pieces that I can learn, and then I'll go home and I'll learn them, and then I'll bring them to the lesson, and then I'll usually like run through the piece one time for her, and then she will like give me pointers. Usually I get through like all the notes and stuff on my own and then have it like memorized, and then she works with me on like the details and the dynamics and phrasing and just how to make it more polished and musical. We usually learn like different pieces from different periods at a time, and then once we finish those pieces, we move on to new pieces.
How's your practice look like?
So usually I practice 2 times a day, one time during the afternoon and one time at night before I go to bed as like a time to rewind. And then during the practice, I usually like focus on a couple of my pieces and I work through them, and like I focus on, for example, I might be focusing on phrasing or dynamics. And I just run through and I try to listen to what my teacher said during the lesson and review it. And then sometimes at night I might play for my mom or my family, and I'll run through it a couple times as like a performance for them.
Is practicing piano hard?
It can be hard at times, and like for example, if I've played a piece for a long time, I kind of get tired of playing it every day, like over and over again. So it gets kind of difficult, but then usually at that point I will learn a new piece, and then I get like re-intrigued, and then usually like when I'm learning new pieces and when I've worked through a piece so that I'm polishing it, I enjoy practicing because I enjoy listening to my own music and seeing my own improvement.
Right. Compared to your math, what do you think? Which one's harder?
Well, I think they're very different. Like piano, when I listen to other people play and create music, I feel like I take it for granted how much work they put in, because in piano there's a lot of factors. There's like a physical technicality, and then it's actually very intellectual, and then you also have to make your audience feel something. For math, there's a lot to learn, but also once you've learned this stuff, it can be kind of tricky. So I think they're both difficult in some sense, but they're also more similar than I think a lot of people would think, because in both you have to use your brain a lot and you have to be diligent and keep on trying over and over again, and then at some point you will make like a breakthrough in the math problem or in mastering a piano piece.
You played with Mephisto Waltz beautifully, and I think it really touched my heart. How do you make that emotional connection to the piece?
The Mephisto Waltz actually is based off of a story. it's based off of Goethe's Faust, and it basically talks about Faust, who is this man who has like mastered a lot of knowledge and almost like covered everything that the earth has to give him. So then, but he does not feel fulfilled. So he goes and he makes a deal with a devil. So a lot of Mephisto Waltz's character is very devilish, and yeah, I think it's important to know the story behind like whatever piece you're playing and know what the writer is trying to convey, and then it becomes easier for you like communicate with your audience clearly if you understand the music yourself. It's a very mature piece, so like of course I don't fully understand it, and I still have a long way to go also. My teacher always tells me not to listen to a piece before you play it, because then if you listen to it, you might accidentally be like copying what someone else is doing, and you're not truly learning the piece by yourself, and it won't be yours. So I just like started reading the notes, and then I would go one section at a time, and I would start very slowly because I don't know the notes well, so my fingers don't really recognize the piece. So yeah, I start slowly, and then first I get the first section, which is like the devilish introduction, and then the middle section is very lyrical, and it changes characters. It's where like Faust is with a girl, and then the last section, and then I just go section by section, and I learn each section very slowly, and then over time I increase the tempo until I've become very familiar with the piece, and then it just like naturally begins to fall into place.
Now, what has been the most rewarding experience for you?
I think the most rewarding part of playing piano is when you like get on stage and there's people in the audience, and then you just play for them and you get to share your music with them, and it's gratifying that like that I know that I have the capability to help others like feel better and make others happy or feel some kind of emotion through my music. Music is like a unifying thing. Everyone can love and appreciate and interpret music in their own way, and we are united by music because it's like a common language.